What is up? My name is Clay Lawrence, owner of Review Harvest, a white label version of GoHighLevel, where I have a little bit over 150 active SaaS customers and make a little bit over $20,000 per month. Just so you know, here's a screenshot so you know I'm not blowing hot air. I'm about to go collect my golden SaaS award or whatever it's called from High Level Summit later this week. And so today we're going to go over how to get every single one of your customers to refer you more people. And so like I said, I got about 150 active customers, and about 70 of those have come from referrals, have come from people spreading the word about us. And the amazing thing about referrals is that in general, referrals stay longer. They're lower information buyers. They have that trust. You don't need to sell them as hard. You know, they're more likely just to sign up without talking to you. That's a lot of our signups that we get that we don't have a sales call come from referrals. And honestly, they're just better to deal with because of that trust thing. Somebody else referred them. You don't have to sell them. They don't have to see your ad or whatever. And so they're just a great customer to have. And so here's how we've got about 75 of our 150 from referrals. Number one is going to be setting expectations. Number two is going to be price to value discrepancy. Number three is going to be making promises and fulfilling promises. Number four is going to be different types of customers. And number five is going to be how to change your onboarding process based off of the type of customer to optimize for the most amount of referrals, and just operations to make it simple for you so you can live a happier life and you don't spend all your time every single day in your email inbox. So number one was going to be setting expectations and meeting expectations. So one of the biggest reasons why marketing agencies or marketing companies in general, especially run by 22-year-old little boys like myself, get a bad rap is because we can do an awful job about setting expectations. I think when I started originally, I probably didn't do a great job either. When we are desperate, when we are young, when we are hungry, we say things that we don't know are true, that we don't have proof to back up on a sales call, at a coffee shop trying to sell a local business owner because we want to get the sale. And so how I finally got around that was just offering my services for free. So lowering expectations, not saying crazy things, just saying, hey, I'm going to do this. This is what I think will happen. We'll see. Or giving a money back guarantee. And so in the beginning, I did lots of money back guarantees. I still do money back guarantee. So going from the frame of Review Harvest, we help local business owners get more Google reviews by white labeling the version of High Level. When we set expectations, we know that our average client, and there's some stats here that, kind of get messed up when people have 0 reviews. And if you go to 0 to 1 review, then it's technically undefined amount, so it messes up the percentages. But I know on average, our clients get a 600 or 700% increase in reviews. And I know that average is skewed based off a lot of business owners that have a lower amount of reviews. So if somebody comes to me with 300 reviews, we're most likely not going to get them to 1,500 reviews. But we have to know those numbers. We have to give them realistic expectations on the call. So what we normally say is that if they've got 1,000 previous customers, we can get anywhere from 5 to 15% of those customers to leave them a review. We give a range. So don't give a dead set number. I've seen clients get 30% of their previous customers to leave a review. I've seen 5%. I've seen less, so it's just something to think about when you're on these sales calls. Don't set crazy expectations, because then your customers are going to be up here. And now, because of the expectations that you set, you might have still done a great job and got them 50 reviews or 40 reviews, but you said you're going to get them 150, and now their customer experience is not great. They had 170 or 160 reviews. Now they have like 217. It's been a couple weeks. It's good, but it's not amazing, right? Got on a call with them today because we're working on integration. Like, integration's so important, like I always say, but we're working on an integration, and they were just raved about me. They were just like, oh my gosh, it is so refreshing. All these people make promises that they can't keep, and working with y'all has been amazing. You just said you're going to do something and you did it. So we properly set expectations, and we met those expectations, because on the call, I didn't tell them I was going to get them 300 reviews. I told them we get anywhere from 5 to 15% of your customer list to leave your review in the first couple of weeks. And so that's something that's super important, setting proper expectations. The second thing is price to value discrepancy. What are you charging versus how much value are they getting from it? Entrepreneurs and long-term, obviously you want to make as much money as possible, but you also want to make your clients as much money as possible, right? And so I think a lot of times gurus, affiliates, YouTubers will not recommend lowering your prices, because there's obviously some negative things that can come, that you can attract a different level of client. But when it comes to reselling High Level, especially when you're just getting started, it's just you. So your expenses are super low. So you can charge very little and still make money. And the only thing that it's costing you is your time. And so you're not having to pay a staff where you need to make sure that you can make payroll this week. And so what we've done at Review Harvest is we've kept our pricing lower than it probably could be. We probably could charge a decent amount more than we do. I mean, Bird Eye charges like their lowest plan's like $379 or something crazy. And we do anywhere from $99 to $279. And we have a very personalized onboarding process where we hop on a one-on-one call. We text them, we call them, we email them. And so there's a lot of stuff that we do. It's very personalized, but that's what we can do, because if we get 100, 200 people set up on High Level, automated services paying us $100, $300 a month, that would change most people's lives. And so I know I've priced under what I could charge and I'm not maximizing for profit for day one. I just want to get as many people onboarded and have as many people have a great experience as possible. Because I know if I charge $500 a month for this and I get them great reviews, they'll probably be happy and then they'll probably, they'll probably stay around for a little while. But if I'm charging $179 for that, something they'd be willing to pay $500 for, they're gonna rave about me. They're gonna be like, this is such a no-brainer. This is obviously, because if you do a great job, but you're charging $1,000 a month, they're like, yeah, I mean, I'm paying $1,000 a month, so I better hope it's doing a good job. And so what I've done is just, like I said, just priced not super low. I'm not, doing for $40 a month, something crazy. Still where you can make a decent amount of money, but price to value discrepancy is there. And so that's what I recommend for you. Charge a little bit lower than you think. Charge a price, have price points that you can get people on and they're like, this is a no-brainer. Plus, when it's a no-brainer and it's a monthly subscription, they'll stay around for longer if they were paying $1,000 or $500 a month, And so that's something that I know is that no matter what they're paying me, unless it's like $1, but no matter what they're paying me a month, if I have them onboarded for years and years to come, I will make plenty of money, And so that's kind of what I've done in the beginning. Eventually, I think I probably will want to maximize for profit and change pricings and stuff like that. But for now, when you're trying to get your first 150 customers, I think, maybe price a little bit lower. And when you're selling reviews, it's kind of hard to have congruent services where you can just provide more value. If you're very niche down, for example, and you're just serving, realtors or just serving plumbers or whatever, then what you can do to increase that price to value discrepancy is you can add additional deliverables. Like maybe you create social media content once and then you give it to all your plumbers. Or maybe you create a website template once and you give it to all of them. There's additional things you can do that are very leveraged to increase that price to value discrepancy. But when you're just selling reviews, I think the price is the easiest thing to play with there. The third thing is just making promises and keeping promises. So when I say making promises and keeping promises, Alex Mosey has a great video about this, about all the stuff that we're doing. Tell them we're going to do it and then do it. And it builds trust over time, right? So you hop on a call and say, hey, I'm going to email you this when you're after the call. And then you said you're going to email it. Boom, you emailed it. And then in that email, you say, hey, tomorrow I'm going to send you this deliverable, send you this, whatever. And then you do that and then you deliver it, right? And now 2 different times within the first 24 hours, you said you're going to do something and then you've done it, right? And so they just start to trust you more. Now, well, if you've already said you're going to do something and done it 15 times within the first week or 2 weeks of doing it, they have a decent amount of trust in you. And in fact, this guy's telling the truth. When he says he's going to do stuff, he does it. And so that's something I've tried to be pretty adamant about, is that one, in our onboarding process, there's lots of automations where we basically just, hey, this is good, you're going to get this, and then they get it. We're going to do this, and then they get that. And so there's a lot of ways you can automate that on your customer journey, but also being really cognizant about when you're on those calls and you say you're going to do something, you actually do it. It's so easy to hop on those calls and say, oh yeah, I'll email them, or oh yeah, I'll call them, or oh yeah, I'll get in touch with them or whatever, and then you don't actually do it. It might not be a big deal. You might never hear about it. They're never going to email you or call you and say, hey, you said you're going to do such and such, but you didn't. They might not, but still subconsciously, they're going to be like, oh, I guess that never happened. And so, boom, you lose a little bit of trust, because we want our word to be the standard. Like when we say something, it is done. It is good as gold. That's something I've tried to be really adamant about while I grow Review Harvest, just making sure when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. So the fourth thing, something I really wanted to harp on, is types of customers. This is so important. It can change your attitude towards your business. It can change your day-to-day life. When you have customers that are draining you, it can mess up a lot of things, especially in the beginning when it's early. You don't have a lot of clients. You don't have a lot of money coming in. You don't have any employees. Whatever it is, it's just you. Because in the beginning, that's something I didn't know. You get a bad customer, they have an awful onboarding process, they never get back to you, they ask you a million questions, their card doesn't go through. I just thought in the beginning, oh, this isn't possible. And so I would just quit and do something different, right? But that's just not the case. Sometimes they're just shitty customers. Especially in the beginning when I was giving my services away for free, and this still happens sometimes. You try and help somebody for free, but they're just a crappy business owner. When I mean crappy business owner, they might just not want to make more money. They might be content. And as a marketing agency or whatever, when you're trying to sell, services that are gonna help them make more money, grow on Google, whatever, save them time, even saving them time, honestly, because they're just too comfortable. They don't want to, they don't want that cost of changing anything. It can be hard to sell to those business owners who they don't want to grow. They're cool where they are. They're content. And so that's one thing just to know. So here's the different type of customers that we have that I've kind of had to figure out over the years. Customer type number one, I think that probably about every 2 in 10 customers are like this. This type of customer is the quiet customer. When I mean quiet customer, I mean they aren't going to hound you for all the details of the process and all the information and need to know all the specifics. Most of the time, they just want a result. They pay you for the result. If you deliver the result, They're not going to bug you. Their card's going to go through. They're going to be great. Also, a lot of times these quiet customers aren't the ones that are just going to send you 100 referrals or post about you or talk about you. They might, one-off talk to their friend about you or, just some one-off stuff, but they're not going to be your raving fans that bring you a whole bunch of business. But they're still nice to have. Like I said, they're lower support. They don't need a bunch of information. And so that's always super nice. The second type of customer, I would say, is your average customer. And so this is going to be most of the customers you get. Probably anywhere from 4 to 6 out of every 10 customers are going to be like this. They're going to want a little bit of information. They're going to want an average amount of information. They're going to have questions. Their main concern is just making sure it works. They're going to email you about about important stuff and maybe some small nuanced details, but they're not just going to hammer you with emails and texts and calls about small things, right? But they're going to have some questions about that stuff, and they're also going to be concerned about the big stuff, making sure it's working. For the most part, they will talk about you to a friend, but they're probably not going to post about you in a Facebook group. They might make a comment on a post like, "Oh yeah, he's Review Harvest has helped out. It's been great," but they're not going to be like that really leader, that loud person, right? So that leads us to number 3, which is the loud customers. The loud customers are great. These are the ones that we want. So loud customers are the customers. They want to make sure it works. Everyone wants to make sure it works. If you're selling a result, you need to make sure you're getting that result. Almost everybody is concerned with that. But loud customers sometimes can be a little bit higher information because when they rave about stuff and when they champion stuff, they want to know the details that people asked. They want to make sure it works. They want to know a little bit more about the process. And so that's what we do. We give them a little bit more information about the process, talking about tweaking the customer journey. With these loud customers, these customers that I know are talking to their friends about it. They're mini influencers in their industry. People in the Facebook groups know them. They go to conferences and people know them for what they do, for the content they post, etc. For these people, I normally, in the beginning days and still now, try to give them my personal cell phone information. And I let them know, hey, this is my personal cell. All the other information is business. This is the best way to get me if you need me on a weekend, whatever. And if you're like, hey, I don't want to work on weekends, you know what? That's fine. You're not going to grow as fast, right? Like, you're going to lose to people that are willing to work on a Saturday and Sunday. And like, screw balance. I think like Alex Ramsey says, like right now, I am totally good to be unbalanced. For the next 10 years, I'm good to be unbalanced. Once I have kids, next 20 years, maybe I'll be a little bit more balanced. First 10 years grind, second 10 years, a little bit less. I don't know. That's a topic for another day. But for these clients, we give them a little bit more information. We might go above and beyond on some certain things. We might check in and have touch points a little bit more frequently after we onboard them. Different than the quiet buyer, right? The quiet buyer, I normally don't give my personal cell phone information to. I normally don't check in multiple times throughout the next couple of weeks. And as long as it's working. If it's not working, then obviously you touch base. But where I find these loud customers is very important. And so where I have normally found these loud customers is in Facebook groups. It is when I find a Facebook group that I can work really well with, Review Harvest can work really well with, and deliver a great service to this type of industry. They have a good CRM we can integrate in. Google reviews are important to them. And I go in there and I see who's commenting, who's posting on posts, who's a top contributor, who's a group admin, whatever. And what I normally do, if it doesn't come through organically, is I'll offer our services for free. I'll offer our services for free for an extended period of time, for a month, 2 months, a year, 6 months. Who cares? I don't care. Because if they're a loud customer and they're telling everybody about everything that they do in their business, I want to be part of their business. I want to be part of the reasons they're winning. And so I'm willing to give it away for free because I know that they're going to tell 10 people about me. And so when I come to the beginning, when I talk about, hey, how I've gotten every single one of my customers to send me a referral, well, the fact is, when you get one customer, that I don't currently know a way for every single one of my customers to send me another customer. I know how to find, on average, for one customer you get one referral, and it's getting those loud customers, because those loud customers, you get them and they might send you 10, they might send you 15, they might send you 20 people for making some posts in a Facebook group, for commenting. These are your brand champions. These are your raving fans. These are the people you go above and beyond for. And you always want to fulfill your service. You always want to do a great job. But this is like, it's 7 a.m. on a Saturday, and if I see they texted me late last night, the night before, I'm going to respond now. I'm going to pick up the phone and call them, and so stuff like that. And so the last type of customer and the worst type of customer is the bad customer. I don't know a better way to put it. High information, low trust. I've gotten a lot of these customers from ads. A lot of these customers will come from Facebook ads because they don't know you from anybody, And so not everybody you get from ads is going to be this way. Just for us, we tend to find that our bad customers do come from ads. And so, and this is on a 150 customer sample size. So, take that with a grain of salt or whatever. If that's not big enough for you, then I'm sorry. This is just for people that might find this helpful. And so, most of these customers will come from ads. These are the type of customers who want to know every little detail. They want to know everything. If anything doesn't go exactly how you said it does, they're asking you about it. They don't trust you. They're saying, hey, why is this messed up if it's not even messed up? These are the type of customers where you'll give them additional services. Like for example, our social media posting function, we post those reviews. It's really not something we sell very hard. It's really something we talk about lightly on the sales call. It's not like a big selling proposition. These are the type of customers where just on those like little small things that we're given just to kind of provide a little bit extra value, they're going to be all over you on, right? They're going to be all over you on. And if something that's, they're going to ask a million questions about how the text and emails look. They're going to ask questions about how the photos look. They're going to ask questions about everything. And then they're going to expect a lot out of you, and those are just, but I will say about the bad customers, when you have those bad customers, if you serve them properly, if you give them all the information they're asking for, if you follow up with them quickly, if you still get them a great result, these people, I've seen them do a full 180 and become a brand champion because they're similar to loud customers in terms of, they're yappy, for lack of better terms, like they'll talk about stuff. They're not just going to sit on a Facebook thread and just read all the stuff. They're going to actually talk and give their 2 cents, I've seen a 180 flip. I've gotten off calls and onboarding calls and I've told my wife, I said, this customer was an hole. They sucked. It was an awful call. And then I've gotten them 200 reviews and I've seen a switch be flipped and they become a brand champion for you. They become somebody that tells people. And so that's what's so hard. That's what's so hard about business for me, because when I have these customers, I honestly wish the bad customers were just bad and I'd just be like, yeah, bad customers are bad. Just don't worry about them. Get rid of them, But I've seen them flip. And now that I've seen them flip, when I see that bad customer, like, this is an opportunity, I know this customer can turn into a brand champion. I know this customer, we can turn this into a great experience. And so it kind of keeps me in the game. But, like I said, these customers can drain you. They can convince you that your business is stupid. They can convince you that you suck. Maybe that's just me and my mental games, but and stuff I need to get over. But yeah, those are kind of the different types of customers. You have the quiet one, loud ones, you have the bad ones, and then you have the average ones. And most are going to be average. They're going to want a little bit of information. They're going to make sure it works. They might tell a friend here or there, but how we've gotten on average, every one customer to give us another one customer is really focusing on those loud customers. And we've found those in the Facebook groups, on the Instagram. A lot of times they're like mini influencers is kind of what we call them. It's like they might have 3 to 5 to 10,000 followers, but they're all landscaping companies. They're all, insert the industry there, whatever it is. And so find those brand champions, find those people that are mini influencers, give them a deal they can't refuse, give them your personal cell phone, go above and beyond for them, and then they can turn into raving fans. And so the last thing about getting all your customers to send you a referral is just going to be asking. So coming down to asking. So when it comes to asking, there's a lot of ways to ask. I wish I could tell you there's this really simple way to automate a text and email campaign where you just get everybody to send you a referral. And that, unfortunately for me, has not been the case. So we have rolled out some email campaigns, some text campaigns, asking us people to share with friends, and we've gotten a little bit from that. But for the most part, in my experience, it has been very spur of the moment, very kind of off the dome. It's like I have a support call with somebody. Today, I have a support call with somebody. They rave about me. We talk, and then I'm like, hey, do you know anybody? And next thing you know, we got a referral. And then, they make an introduction for us. And so I've had the best chance, the best luck getting referrals by calling, texting, and emailing. And the great thing is that honestly, it's just calling, get on the phone, getting on a Zoom call with them about stuff. That's where I've had the best success. But like I said, those brand champions, those are the best ones, because a lot of times you don't even have to call them. You don't have to text them. You don't have to ask them. Like, I'll just be scrolling through Facebook groups. People will ask a question about Google reviews. Boom, somebody just mentioned us. Boom, somebody just said, hey, you need to talk to Clay. Hey, you got to go check out Review Harvest, all that stuff. And so those are amazing customers. That's kind of how we've gotten one and one, about one referral for every single customer we've gotten. Those are kind of the process. Hope it's helpful to somebody. If it is, feel free to sign up to High Level with our affiliate link. With my affiliate link, you'll get access to our school community where we have coaching calls. I have the snapshot that we use to deliver reviews for our clients. I have all the training. We have, lots of good discussion in there. And so if you're interested in something like that, great. If not, hope you enjoyed it. See ya.